Hey, this is Buff Bagwell, and you're watching the Cards Subject to Change podcast. Check it out.
Welcome back to the show!
Welcome back to the show!
And now, your hosts of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the For Frequency's Sake Tag Team Champions of the World, the Wizard CZ, and Never Wrong, Nick Bull.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting edition of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan for the fan. So happy you joined us. Of course, we are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, and colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo. Welcome to the podcast by the fan for the fan, episode 228. Man, I wonder what we're going to discuss tonight.
I don't know.
Be remiss if I did not introduce you myself. I am Never Wrong Nick Bull, joined by my tag team partner. We are the co-champs of the For Frequency's Sake Network and have been for quite some time. No challengers, I guess. I mean, what do you do? But regardless, he's also a wizard as well. He is the one. He is the only. He is the Wizard CZ. Wiz, how you doing, bud?
Man, I am feeling pretty good. Nice long Thanksgiving weekend, so happy Thanksgiving post-dated to everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Nick, I just got one question for you. Are the generals gathered in their masses?
Please put that theme song away. I mean,
It's a Thanksgiving tradition.
Please put this match away. We need to get away from the War Games match, but that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later. But yes, if you're like me, you're sick and tired of hearing War Pigs for the last 5 years or 5 weeks up to this, but we've heard it for the past SummerSlams, or excuse me, Survivor Series.
Not to mention when it was on NXT, they did
Let's
it.
find another song.
They did it there.
Come on, let's find another song.
No, I agree.
But Ozzy did pass away just a few months ago, so they're going to have that. They want to get that in there. I get that, but yeah, I mean, will you be upset if there's no War Games match next year at Survivor Series?
I don't know if I'll be upset. I mean, I'm a big fan of the War Games concept, but it's just so watered down with WWE. I'm on the fence. I'll be honest. Have one, don't have one. I miss the old 5-on-5 Strive to Survive elimination matches.
I mean, I do too, and I'm just kind of going off what the IWC has been saying here in the last, almost 24 hours after the event. And I was fine with the War Games matches last night. I understand they're used to blow off a feud.
Yep.
But quintessentially now WWE's using this to forward the winter programs and kind of give us glimpses of what WrestleMania could be. And I think we got that last night. We'll delve all into that. So happy you're here with us once again. Card Subject to Change podcast by the fan for the fan. We are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, and colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo. If you're following along with the show, go ahead, comment in the section. Maybe we'll switch topics and go right off what your comment had to say. Who knows? We are Card Subject to Change, here to discuss Survivor Series War Games. What did you think about 4 matches? Going into it,
knowing that 2 of them were pretty much 40 to 50 minute War Game matches, I was okay with it. Coming out of it, I wish there were a little more meat on the bone. But, I mean, you have your 2 world champions tied up in the War Games match. Sure, we had one of the women's world championships being defended, but I mean, there's a lot of stars out there that have. There's a few other titles that you could have put in display. The Intercontinental Championship could have been out there. Well, no, I'm sorry, not the Intercontinental, the U.S. title. I mean, there's been a big program between Ciampa and Dragunov for the U.S. title, where Dragunov just refuses to give Ciampa a shot at the title. Put that on this pay-per-view. But if there had been another match, it would have taken away. I don't want to say taken away. It would have. I think it would have shortened the War Games matches, and I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing.
I understand the feud that was going on with the men's War Games match, but I just didn't see it on the women's side. It just felt to me like, let's pick 10 random women and throw them in the War Games match. And I'm not being sexist. I enjoy women's wrestling. But I just because the men are having one, the men had way more story going into it, way more backstory, way more star power, I thought. And then, I don't know. It's just the women's one seemed War Games light and the men's was just War Game. It's just, I don't know. I don't like having these matches unless there's a reason to have them. Not because it's Survivor Series, but because a reason to have them. And we got through that last night in the men's match, but the women's match, I didn't think so.
I'll be honest. I can give credence to 6 of the 10 women being in War Games. 4 of them were on one side. Charlotte and Bliss, Rhea and Io, both have had issues with the Kabuki Warriors over the last month.
Okay.
Where, I get AJ and Becky have their issues, but did they need to be in this match? No. And then you're just throwing Lash Legend and Nia Jax there for ballast, so the teams are even.
Props to Lash Legend for showing out. I mean, getting a big, gets that big entrance there at the end of it and getting into the match. Props to her. Just got engaged with Trick Williams as well. But yeah, it just seemed like Nia and Lash were thrown in. I don't get it, but it's not for me to get. I guess it's for me to critique and talk about. I enjoyed the match. I'm not saying, and I enjoyed the show for the most part. I know a lot of people are poo-pooing on it, and crapping on it. But I don't know what more you were expecting.
I don't.
Yeah. Yes. Hey. Yes, I would love to know who the attacker was in the men's War Games match. Yeah. But I'm not going to crap on a show because I didn't find out who it was. That makes you watch the next show. Duh.
Right.
They
want to give you a reason to tune in on Monday.
About that. You're a child. That's childish. Of course they're not going to reveal who it was. Duh.
I mean, did they do that? Have they done it in the past with the Bloodline storyline? Sure. When Solo showed up, he was under a hood and he revealed himself. There is a precedence for it, but they want you to tune in on Monday to help build more of a story. And
I feel if let's say the person did unmask themselves during the men's Survivor Series match. Then people would be pissed off as to why that person's there.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I'm thinking Monday night on Raw, we'll get an explanation and it'll make sense why that person was there. But if that person just shows up, does his thing, takes his mask off, then everybody's like, what the hell's going on? Why is this?
Right.
There's got to be mystery. There's got to be intrigue. Okay? This isn't somewhere else where you want to have your cake and eat it too. The lazy fan does. No, you got to invest in this. They're not going to give it away. And by doing so, they want you to tune in on Monday. That's what this business is all about.
Yeah.
Promotion and getting you to watch the next show.
And it no matter what you say about the IWC and their griping and whatnot, they're going to tune in because they want to know. They've done their job.
Right.
Or they're going to protest.
Now, as to speculate who that person is, speculate away. That's cool. That's fine. And it's a number of people. I think a lot of the same names keep going across people. I mean, the three names I keep saying in no particular order I keep seeing are Rollins, Jericho, and Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Now, I honestly don't think that Rollins' injury. Yes, I think this time he's injured. I didn't think he was before back at SummerSlam. I think Rollins' injury would not permit him to be able to climb that way up and over a War Games cave. Jericho, I don't think so, because this person, if you could do me a favor, CZ, while I babble here, look up Chris Jericho's height and look up Austin Theory's height.
Absolutely.
Because Jericho is not as tall as Austin Theory. And my bet is Austin Theory may be a little bit taller than Rollins. Because that's the thing that stuck out to me with that match last night, the men's War Games match we're talking about here from Survivor Series, is that it was a taller individual.
Austin Theory is 6'1".
Yep. Chris Jericho's not 6'1".
No. He is 6 foot. So he's close.
Bullshit. He's 5'10". Without wrestling shoes. And then what's Rollins?
After I close the window, thanks.
But I mean, there was no brace on.
Rollins is 6'1" also.
Okay.
So Rollins and Theory.
Same height.
Same height. They have similar builds.
He's had surgery. He wouldn't have been cleared. So I mean, I think you can throw Rollins out. Jericho.
Do you think
it'd be a way for Jericho to make a splash?
Yeah,
but wouldn't you want to make a bigger splash?
At his age, at Jericho's age, do you think he's spry enough to climb the cage as fast as that guy did?
No.
I mean, no discredit to Jericho.
Jericho's in great shape for his age, don't get me wrong. But no, that guy was pretty spry.
And maybe they'll swerve us all, and it won't be any of the above. But when the masked individual first appeared, my first thought was to go to Austin Theory. And sure, I'll admit I'm a bit of an Austin Theory mark. I think he's got a lot of potential and could do well in the right circumstances, but he had the right build, and he set a precedence for doing this before. Go back to NXT around Halloween Havoc. I don't remember what year off the top of my head, but when Gargano started the way, Theory was under a mask and helped Gargano win the North American Championship. So there's a precedence for it, and like I said, I like being surprised. I would love to be wrong, but I don't think I am. And there've been rumors with Theory joining the Vision since the Vision began.
Make the Theory make it make sense for Theory in the whole Vision.
Okay, so Theory has been gone. He's been off of TV for some time now.
Quite some time.
I'm not sure if he was injured or if he was just taken off for creative reasons, but I've said forever, like I said earlier, you give him the right circumstance, you give him the right mouthpiece. Sure, Theory can talk all right, but he can talk well enough. But you give him the right mouthpiece and the right circumstances, and that dude is a star any way you shape it. He has just not been booked well. Well, Paul Heyman likes to mold younger talent into stars. And I can see Paul Heyman looking at an Austin Theory the same way I do. Give him a little leeway on his leash, and let's see what he can do, and let him shine.
So the Vision would move to 4 members then, right?
Is Logan Paul officially part of the Vision?
I think he's got to be considered. I mean,
then yeah.
he's with them. I mean, he's been associated with them for the past few weeks. I mean, I don't know if he's got a certificate carrying around saying he's a member of the Vision, but
Which I do have a certificate proving that I am a wizard.
It would appear that he is a member of the Vision. I don't know. I mean, it's going to make Monday night. It's going to make Monday night very, very interesting. Let's just break down the men's. Let's just break down the men's match.
And before we actually break it down, if you're tuned in live, if you're listening or watching after the fact, leave a comment. What do you think? Who do you think the masked man is, and why? But no, this match I thought was the better of the two War Games matches.
I would agree with that
by a long shot. And right away, within the first 15 minutes, I thought it was going to go wrong. That spot that Breaker took on his neck. Oh my God. How is he still moving?
I don't know. Probably a lesser man, maybe not as strong, maybe not used to taking the bumps. That would have done something to their neck. I don't know, man. There was a little foreshadowing, I think, there last night. There was a lot of foreshadowing in this match.
Yeah.
Okay. I honestly, I wanted to see Braun Breaker the most in this match. When he came out first was awesome. And then it was him and Punk. When I saw that, I thought, you know what? We haven't seen this matchup yet. This is interesting. Fresh matchup. Two guys that are way up there on the roster in terms of talent and over and just the fans wanting to see.
Yeah.
You've got Braun, who's on the cusp of this meteoric rise. And then there's Punk. And then they're out there. I thought a long time ago, before Rollins got hurt and went away, we need to find what episode I said it on, because I know I said it on one of these episodes. I said Braun Breaker was going to win the Royal Rumble. And he's going to. He's going to win the Royal Rumble and take on CM Punk at WrestleMania. Okay? I think that's safe to say or safe to think. I mean, anybody else think that?
That's where my mind goes now.
And I'll tell you the other WrestleMania match. If you were watching the show and watched the end of the show, they're teasing Cody Roman 3, aren't they?
They sure are.
Boy, like, credits have stopped rolling. They've gone off. Everybody's kind of waiting for something to happen like 2 years ago when Punk returned in 23 in Chicago. Didn't happen, which is fine. But something was going on there between Cody and Roman. It's interesting. We got it at 39. We got it at 40. But if we get it at 42, you got to think that Cody's going to be the heel this time, and Roman's the face.
I would imagine.
It's going to be interesting. But those were my two biggest takeaways from this match. Was when Punk and Braun started, I'm like, this is interesting. I like this. This could go places. And then the afterwards with Cody and Roman. The match itself, I didn't have any problems with, and like CZ said, I thought it was better than the women's match. The War Games stuff.
I'll take it a step further with your Breaker and CM Punk.
Yep.
Who got pinned and who pinned who?
Bingo.
Braun Breaker got the victory over CM Punk.
Bingo.
That right there says a lot.
Bingo. Right. And don't think that won't be used in the coming months, for promos and whatnot. But yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Big coming out party for Braun Breaker. They've been waiting. I mean, they want, people thought that he was going to fight for Rollins' title. But WWE wanted a bigger backdrop, a bigger platform than just Saturday night's main event for Braun Breaker's first win. Well, what better way than WrestleMania 42 in Vegas? I don't know. That's just kind of where it's kind of how I'm reading the tea leaves right now.
I mean, I don't disagree, and you are never wrong. So,
no. Well, if you must say,
it's not a gimmick; it's a lifestyle. Anything else that you saw coming out of this match that you think is of note?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was good to see Bronson Reed walk out of this match. Last year he didn't. I believe last year he broke his ankle and hurt his other foot in doing a spot in this match. So it was good to see him back out there. Unique with Brock Lesnar's entrance and Roman leaving the War Games area. At first, I did not like it, but I kind of like how they had the big stare down and the fight outside that then went directly inside. So I didn't have a problem with that. I know some people had a problem that the shark cages weren't there. Did that bother you at all?
Not really. I mean,
no, me neither. I was totally fine with how they did it. I know in the past
they've always had them since NXT days, but where would they have put them with the way that was set up?
I understand. Like back in the WCW days, they would all be at ringside.
Yep.
So I'm glad they didn't do that. Everybody got their shine, got their pop when they came out. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But no shark cages really didn't bother me at all.
No, and I will nitpick this match a little bit. Jey Uso, you're in a War Games match and you replay your freaking entrance theme. I mean, that's like
Hey, this is Fred Ottman, Tugboat Typhoon, the Shockmaster, the B-A-double-D, Big Steel Man.
Wait a second. If you're going to do that, I get to do this.
Oh, that's fair. I'll wait until you cue me next time.
Okay, I'm cueing you now.
Hey, this is Fred Ottman, Tugboat Typhoon, the Shockmaster, the B-A-double-D, Big Steel Man. And the card is subject to change. Watch it.
There we go. Just as easy as that, man.
We don't need to see the whole intro again.
I've always been against it when he does it in matches.
He's done it before matches until now. Doing it in the middle of a friggin' War Games match?
What's that?
His track record is to do it before the match begins. But doing it in the middle of one of the most brutal matches in WWE? Come on.
Well, I'm glad you said it, not me, because I've railed on Jey Uso enough this year, but I just kind of rolled my eyes at it. Looked like everybody was having fun. Nobody got hurt, but yeah, I could have went without it.
I mean, yeah, I can't even. Let's move on to happier things. Let's move on to something else. I will say I went 3 for 4 on this one in my match predictions.
Okay.
The one that I was off on, honestly, I had John Cena coming away with the title and going into his final match with the bell.
Okay.
But it makes sense that he didn't.
Yeah, they kind of threw us a curveball. A couple weeks ago, Dom took the belt off Cena in Boston. Cena's last time in Boston, of course. This is the Cena retirement tour. So I was kind of shocked then because I thought that Dom was going to take it off of him at Survivor Series. Well, he did. It just wasn't for the first time. It was for the second time. A little overbooked at times with the involvement of every member of the Judgment Day.
Yes.
But the ending was great. Dom is going to continue to get better. God, he's still so young. He's still so young in the business and still getting his traction in the ring. But you cannot deny this guy has aura. This guy has it. Hometown or not, the crowd loved him. when they're supposed to hate him.
Let me ask you this.
Future's bright. And if WWE did one thing right with this retirement tournament thing, it was this match right here.
Yep.
Because this is what's supposed to happen when you go out. You put over the younger talent that's going to be there for the next couple, several years. You don't retire with every single belt in your possession. No, you put over the talent on your way out. And he puts over Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio pinned John Cena in his last PLE. That's the biggest win of his career. And I know he's already had the Intercontinental, and I know he's got the AAA. No offense to either one of those belts, but pinning Cena on his last pay-per-view is the biggest moment of his career.
Oh, absolutely. And will be until he wins a world title.
I mean, having that match with Ray at 39 was a big deal too. Don't get me wrong, but this is huge. To beat Cena in front of his hometown, Dom did it in his hometown crowd. One of the big shows of the year on the retirement tour, second or last pay-per-view for Cena. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger.
Is Dom the best heel in WWE right now? I mean, I know he's over with the fans.
Levels. There's levels. I mean, does he get heat? Yes, but there's levels. Is he a bigger heel than Paul Heyman? I mean, I guess you could, if you wanted to take a poll, I guess he would probably have to be the biggest heel. Probably is. It's got to be him or Heyman or the likes.
Yeah. I can't put anybody above him right now, in my opinion. And kudos to some straight up Eddie Guerrero shit with that injury fake out on the outside of the ring, the shoulder.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
Dom seems to get he's not out there trying to reinvent the wheel. He's out there doing what he should be doing. There's nothing that he does in the ring that is eye roll, what are you doing? Part of the reason why I like Gunther so much. All the stuff that Gunther does is believable. And you can see a guy like that doing it. He doesn't do stuff that's unnecessary. I think the same thing with Dom right now. Dom's not going to go out there and go hold for hold with a Bryan Danielson. But he is going to go out there and have you in the palm of his hand for however many minutes he's in the ring.
Yep.
And his antics and, being a part of the Judgment Day. I wonder, I start to look at the calendar now and how much longer is the Judgment Day going to be around?
They've got to have an expiration date.
Liv back now. Is Liv going to be a complete bitch to Roxanne and, claim her space? What's it going to be like? That's, outside of the Masked Man and the Survivor Series match, I'm looking forward to what the dynamic now of the Judgment Day is after Liv Morgan's return. And, after Dom, is on top of the world right now after beating John Cena.
Yeah, and what a feather in his cap, like you said. This is the biggest moment of his career thus far, and I don't even know if him winning a world title would top it. Because he can brag about this forever.
For sure.
This is something he can always, well, I beat John Cena on his last PLE match. What have you done?
Exactly. He can throw that in everyone's faces forever. He absolutely can. Anything you would have done different with this match?
I probably would have shortened it a little bit. Maybe not had to have as much overbooking, or bring the boys in, bring JD and Finn in a little earlier. Because the match went almost 17 minutes, 16:40. And there were a couple moments where it just kind of felt flat, and then it picked back up again. So I think they could have trimmed some fat off of this. But otherwise, No, the injury on the outside, the taking off of the boot, like the nods to Eddie Guerrero in this match, and the way that it ended with Liv, and the throwback to Cena's heel turn at the beginning of the year, just brilliant. I don't think I can add anything else here. No.
No, I don't think. I mean, I don't think so either. I mean, it was good. It was cool. It got a reaction. You knew Dom was going to do whatever he could to take the belt off Cena. Cena doesn't look bad in this at all, and everyone's getting geared up now for his final match in less than 2 weeks now as we record this on Sunday evening after Survivor Series. We are Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan for the fan. Of course, we are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoos. So glad to have you along with us, episode 228, discussing War Games Survivor Series from last night. That leaves us with the 2 women's matches left to discuss or go in depth on, CZ.
It does.
And I'm going to talk about Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella.
Okay.
This match was better than it should have been. I thought Nikki Bella gave, outside of looking absolutely phenomenal, was unbelievable in the match. She had one of her better matches of her career. And I thought Stephanie brought it out of her. Now, is it a 5-star classic? No. But much better than what it would be. Exceeded my expectations. Knowing how good of a wrestler Stephanie Vaquer is, and knowing that Nikki Bella is probably, not known for her in-ring capabilities as well as what Stephanie Vaquer is. Thought they worked together really well.
Yep.
It seems slow at times, but once they figured each other out, I thought some good things happened.
The devil's kiss on the table.
Oh, man. I mean, we all win. We all win. Well, we all win. But no, it really was. I enjoyed, this is probably, if we're going to go matches, I enjoyed, men's War Games, John and Dom, excuse me, this match, and then the women's War Games match. But
I would rank it about the same. Yeah.
These two seemed to get better as the match went on. What was the run time on this one, CZ? If I had to guess, 14 something.
Nope, 12:20. It's a little bit shorter than you thought, but
a little bit shorter than I thought. But it went. I thought it went well. I thought it went better than it could have. And Brie Bella still has it. Or Nikki Bella, sorry. Brie Bella's Bryan Danielson's wife, but Nikki Bella still has it.
Yeah, Nikki definitely still has it. This was a good match. I can't find fault in it, and I think the right call was made here because Nikki doesn't need the title. She's back for essentially this is her retirement tour, even though she hasn't said she's retiring. This is her. She's in the twilight of her career where Vaquer is is just getting to the peak of her career, in my opinion. And I think the right call was made here with Nikki putting Stephanie over, because I wouldn't have done it any other way. And this was absolutely a perfect pairing from the two of them. Great dance partners, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Yeah, I mean, Stephanie Vaquer has been on a roll. I mean, I think somebody tweeted out last night, or I read somewhere, that she's the winningest the single greatest year in WWE women's history with the titles and the stuff that she's won. And, that's one person that wasn't in the War Games match, was Stephanie Vaquer, since she had her title defense. This is going to be, it's going to be interesting because that's the last major pay-per-view of the year. There is not one in December, is there?
No.
Nope, we got
there was talk that they were going to do a December one for Cena, but that's the Saturday night's main event.
Right, Saturday night's main event, and then our next pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble. So, there's a lot of people that weren't on this pay-per-view. Like the spots were very few on this. 20 spots were taken up with 2 matches, but the rest of the matches were just, 2 singles. So there weren't a lot of superstars left off this card.
Right.
And with the next one being Rumble, you wonder what's going to happen next. I mean, a lot of people, it's like, unless you're watching the programming every week, you're going to forget about some people.
Yeah, I mean, like, easily could have had LA Knight somewhere on this card. He stands out as a name that was missing. Chelsea Green.
Yep.
Jade Cargill, the women's WWE Women's Champion on the SmackDown side of things. Number of people that could have been here. The Solo and his MFTs.
They did have the Survivor Series match type match on SmackDown. So
true.
I get that one, but yeah, I know there's a lot of people not on the show. So, so much can happen between now and Royal Rumble. And if you're not tuned in and seeing what's going on, you're going to be like, well, I know there's going to be people coming out of the Rumble and be like, when was the last time we saw that person? But it happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many spots for so many people, right?
Right.
We'd be watching wrestling forever if everybody got a spot on the show.
Right.
Every single show. Not that that's a bad thing.
I'm not begrudging people that make the show. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of people that weren't on it, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see where we go, and we've got essentially a 2-month build now until the Rumble.
What date is the Rumble on?
January, I believe, 29th. I'm looking. Nope, January 30th, 31st, because we'll review it on the 1st of February.
We are over 2 months away from the next PLE, which is crazy when there's been so many of them. It's kind of like a brief respite, but 2 months from the Rumble.
Yeah.
I will be interested to see how TV is going forward. I know they got Cena's last match in 2 weeks, the Saturday night's main event. But that's a lot of TV between now and the Royal Rumble.
I'm glad you brought up TV because did I hear right? Are they moving SmackDown back to 3 hours at the beginning of the year?
I think so. I think that's the case.
I get it. But I don't know. I don't want to complain. It's wrestling and it's people that I enjoy watching.
Right.
But at the same time, that's a lot of wrestling during the week.
Yeah, it is. 2 months from the Royal Rumble? That is nuts, man.
I know.
That seems like so far away. So far away.
Yeah, I can't. It seems like forever from now,
Is there anything that caught your eye from the women's War Games match here?
I mean, only Io Sky and her ridiculous garbage can spot, but that's every year.
Right.
It's fun, but at the same time, how many different ways can you jump off the cage with a garbage can on your head?
Let me ask you this. Did Blood and Guts being like 2 weeks ago take away some of the allure of War Games?
I think so.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think AEW did that on purpose. Which
I'm sure they do because WWE counter, schedules to counter their shows, and all is fair in the competition. You just had to know you weren't going to get the blood in WWE that you were going to get from the Blood and Guts matches.
Right.
That wasn't going to happen.
No, absolutely not. And I don't know, there's not really much in the women's match that I think stood out to me. I think it was overshadowed by the men's match and the other 2 matches on the card, I'll be honest with you.
Yep, I agree too. There was nothing that made me say, wow, that was amazing. Like, no, you had the Io Sky garage, garbage can spot, but really nothing like blew me away in this match.
And that's unfortunate because they're all tremendous
Absolutely
performers. You know, that's not discrediting any of them that were in the match. It just comparatively, there was nothing to write home about.
What do you think about the biggest star in that match going to SmackDown?
Who's the biggest star in the match?
Who do you think it is?
That's tough. I would call Rhea.
Yep. Believe she's going to SmackDown.
Well, I mean that adds some interesting matchups that we haven't necessarily seen.
I would imagine a few people probably going over SmackDown. They're just going to 3 hours. But I don't know. That's something that's going on right now, that it's believed that she is going to SmackDown, which is too bad because I don't know. I like watching Raw. SmackDown on Friday nights gets kind of tough sometimes, but yep, New Year. We've got Rumble coming up end of January. We've got SmackDown going to 3 hours. A couple weeks away from John Cena's last match. Is it going to be Jay? Is it going to be Gunther? Who's it going to be?
I think we all know it's going to be Gunther.
I hope it's Gunther, but I'm starting to wonder if it's going to be Jay. And then Jay turns heel afterwards.
Do we have Jay turn heel on Cena or turn heel on Gunther?
I don't know.
It'll be interesting. I would rather see.
That's a good question. I haven't put much thought into that because I was hoping he wouldn't even be in the finals, but here we are.
Who does he face in the semis?
What's that? I mean,
Who's he facing? What's that?
Gunther's facing Solo.
And who's Jay facing?
Is it
LA Knight?
Is it LA Knight?
I think it's LA Knight.
I wouldn't mind LA Knight turning heel when this is over with.
I can see that. I can definitely get behind that. I mean, he has excuse me, he hasn't had a real big heel run on the main roster. Last heel run that I can remember was his feud with Cameron Grimes in NXT for the $1 million title.
Right. Yeah, as soon as I said LA Knight heel, I had Cameron Grimes in my head too, because then they have a match to be, and one of them have to be the other one's Butler or something.
Yep. Cameron Grimes.
That about wraps up this episode 228 of the Card Subject to Change podcast. CZ, what do we have coming up?
Oh, well, we got a couple good things coming up. Next week is our final interview of the year. We are counting down to the end of the year. We are taking the final Sunday in December off. We're gonna just take that weekend off to relax, enjoy the holidays between Christmas and New Year's with our family. But next week we've got our final interview. We're bringing on the one Jackson Slater. I've met him a couple times at APW shows. Interested to hear his story. And then normally this Tuesday we would have our Wrestlebacks episode, being the first Tuesday of the month, but things kind of fell in the cracks and life happened. So we are moving that back to next Wednesday the 10th, where we will beat up John Cena as we review SummerSlam of 2016, John Cena and AJ Styles.
Yeah, holidays kind of put us through the ringer and the snafu there, and we're like, that's coming up. So got pushed back with Wrestlebacks, which is great. We're reviewing SummerSlam 2016, the match between John Cena and AJ Styles. That will be next Wednesday, December 10th, as CZ had put on the graphic there.
Yeah, and that we've got our ugly sweater party review coming up. We've got the Cardies coming up. And yeah, we're just looking forward to the end of the year, Nick. I'm excited.
I am too. Lot of wrestling to talk about. Lots more wrestling to cover. As we record, last day of November, man. December is here. Enjoy the time.
How is tomorrow, December 1st?
Exactly. You tell me and we'll both know. How's there 14 inches of snow outside my house right now?
Oh, yeah. I don't get me started. Hey, I'm just glad I'm not in a place where I can get stuck in the snow right now.
Exactly. It could always be worse. Want to thank you for tuning in, coming into our little corner of the world, chatting wrestling with us here on the Card Subject to Change podcast. Big shout out to the For Frequency's Sake Network for allowing us to be on the network and do this thing that we call Card Subject to Change. So thankful for that. Thankful for my broadcast and tag team partner, the Wizard CZ. Another show in the books, my friend.
That's right. We will see you next week right here on Card Subject to Change.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's